I put every player on their college team. There are 358 different Division I college basketball programs, but only a few have consistently produced the best of the best NBA talent. The top 5 programs in producing NBA talent are Kentucky with 119 NBA players, UCLA with 99, Duke with 97, UNC with 94, and then a big gap at 5 with Kansas having 77 NBA players. Maybe you can guess why they're called Blue Bloods, but just having a lot of players in the NBA doesn't exactly make you the best. So to test who really is the best, I put every all-time player on their college team making 30 all-time college lineups, but not everyone is perfect. Teams like Duke have Kyrie, Tatum, and Zion, UCLA has Kareem, Love, Westbrook, and Kentucky has AD, Shea, Booker, and Fox, and so many more are looking stacked, while others are hardly making the cut. I also had to slightly change the rules for the last team to make it in. The Oklahoma Sooners team, which technically is mostly Oklahoma players, but I did have to lie for a few of them, like Oklahoma State with Cade Cunningham and Marcus Smart, for example, as well. I know that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are kind of rivals. I just didn't have enough players to fully fill a lot of rosters, so I'm sorry. That's just how it has to go. These are all the programs we have lined up, and while I'm obviously rooting for my hometown Syracuse Orange and Carmelo Anthony, what do you think is going to win it all? Throughout the regular season, 5 players absolutely dominated. Grant Hill led the already stacked Duke Blue Devils with a near triple-double average and was the closest thing to LeBron in a league without it. Bob McAdoo on UNC made Jordan the second option, averaging 23 and 12 a night for the Tar Heels. Westbrook with an insane duo, and Kareem again went back to his triple-double average ways, while Magic on Michigan State was even better, averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 13 assists a night. But one player stood out on top of everyone else. And the MVP is going to be Will Chamberlain on Kansas, who didn't even take a 3-point shot, but was averaging a crazy 20-point triple-double. And the standings were, as expected, some of the tightest we have ever seen, with 2 teams in the East at 60 wins or more. I mean, this was one of the most competitive years the NBA has ever seen, aside from the Washington Huskies, who were 2-80. We had Kansas as well with 55 wins. USC and Georgetown and Memphis also get 50 wins, and the Western, again, was also pretty even, except for Villanova and Arkansas were kind of getting rolled over. There were some crazy surprises though. The reigning NCAA champion UConn Huskies didn't even crack 30 wins. And despite being the winningest team in college for the last decade, Gonzaga only notched 18 wins. But enough about the losers, let's check out the battle in the playoffs to really see who's the best college program ever. Now, I did forget to turn off the play-in tournament, so to recap it, Marquette won to take the 7 seed over Tennessee, and Indiana eliminated Arizona along with Tennessee on their way to an 8 seed in the West. While in the East, Michigan took the 7 seed with a win over ASU, but ASU would bounce back after beating a Q's team fresh off a win over Louisville. And yes, I'm still pretty upset about it. Michigan may have killed it in the play-in, but there are problems to come in their first round matchup. As the Russell trying to do some work on Grant Hill, they need something. And oh, tough layup, it's not falling. We got Tatum going down the other way, kicking it to Grant Hill down to Zion. What a trio. Zion not giving up on it, but maybe he should have. Michigan getting eliminated. While Duke was battering Michigan, the NBA's leading scorer this season, KD, would be taking one of his own. And USC, a team that I didn't think would be that dominant, is just out here cooking up the competition right there after that Gus Williams shot. Kansas and Will Chamberlain looking to close out their series against Dwayne Wade and Marquette. Pass down to Wilt. He's playing bully ball on Jimmy and getting the and one finish. All hope's not dead yet. I mean, Jimmy Buckets in the playoffs is prime Michael Jordan's son, essentially. Oh, down to Richards, and Will is swatting that into the next century. And Paul Pierce just not quite fast enough to pick it up. And just like that, Marquette is out of here. While Wilt was carrying Kansas, UNC would be struggling to close out versus Arizona State. And Vince Carter's going to be giving it to Walter Davis. He's trying to cook something up, little sidestep. Oh, tough finish. All right, UNC needs something here to make sure they have a game. Vince Carter pull up 3. I don't advise it. He misses it towards the board, and there's the foul. Dort is making the first 2-point game. Oh my God, Vince Carter's taking entirely too long. He's going to just have to hoist this up. There's the brick. Oh my God, we're going to a game 7. In game 7, Michael Jordan right now has 30 and 12. And UNC's up 14. And I mean, I love James Harden, one of our generational scorers, but him and Danny Granger, I just don't think have what it takes. As yep, that brick, I think it's solidified. Indiana has Larry Bird leading the helm. And yes, I know Larry Bird technically is known for his time at Indiana State, but he went to Indiana for a little bit, so I kept him on it. Fight me. But the Cinderella story UNLV is out, and they're cooking. And just not enough pace right now to this Hoosiers team. They're down big. You got Sean Marion clamping Ryan Arsdale. This is looking like a UNLV 3-2. So, see you later, Indiana. We have our first game 7, but it honestly just looks like the Memphis did not come here to play against Georgetown. And that's probably why. Derek Rose taking shots from the logo. You don't need that. But there you go, Memphis. See you later. Kentucky came in as the favorite to win here with 119 players sent to the NBA and a full team of 80 overalls or better. But Michigan State would completely ignore it, beating Kentucky 128 to 119 in Game 6 to win 4-2 and solidified our second round. And we have 4 big matchups teeing off. UNLV taking on Georgetown, Kansas taking on USC, UNC versus Michigan State after their big upset over Kentucky, and Duke and UCLA, 2 massive powerhouses. And I mean, when you're letting Paul Pierce do stuff like this, no surprise you're down and about to lose 4-1. USC, you're out of here, but you at least made it farther than I expect you to. But you can't expect to win when 29 from Wilt, 25 from Paul Pierce, and 23 from Embiid. Okay, UCLA, you need to score here if you guys want to stay in this game. You got Westbrook on a flash cut. It's not going to work. Drew Holiday putting up a terrible shot, though. You could argue a shot here for Duke solidifies it. UCLA got to rush them into something, or a Tatum step back. That's game. And this is another one that you would want to be close, especially with Draymond Green, Steve Smith, and Magic Johnson on the same team, but it's just not Magic, though. Is making it flashy. It's just not close. And I mean, who's this guy telling to quiet down? He's down 20. Unless UNC have one of the greatest chokes in NBA history, they're going to be taking this one, and Jerry's making it easy. And Michigan State, you fall hard, but see you later. And while UNC is making quick work at Michigan State, the Georgetown Hoyas were having trouble against UNLV and lose by 15 in Game 6. In our conference finals, we have some crazy matchups. UNLV, a Cinderella story, if I have to be honest, is taking on the Kansas Jayhawks, who, if I'm being honest, gotta be my favorite at this point. And in the East, we have a tale as old as time. Wait, isn't that Beauty and the Beast? Anyway, it's UNC, MJ, Vince Carter, Antoine Jamison, Brad Daughtry, Bob McAdoo, and they're taking on the Duke Blue Devils with Kyrie, Grant Hill, Jason Tatum, Elton Brand, Christian Laettner, and Zion off of the bench. Oh, and what a pass down to Jerry Stackhouse for the dunk, and he is flexing on Duke. Oh, Vince Carter exposing again, and he's going to the line. And Duke's got one final chance at making something happen. Kyrie's going to take it again, miss it, and Zion's going to get the board for a nasty poster, but it's not going to mean much. Now, this is a small victory for the UNC, but there's a bigger task at hand. UNLV would find themselves in a 3-1 deficit against Kansas, but after a very, very close win in Game 5 that Christian Wood tried his best to sell by missing 2 free throws, though he redeemed himself at the end by hitting the clutch ones. They would then massively blow out Kansas in Game 6, but narrowly trail by 2 in Game 7 with a chance at the finals on the line. Alright, both teams desperately need a bucket here. Oh, Reggie Theus, though, is down on Will Chamberlain. They're instantly sending a double team with Sean Marion. He kicks it to Heinrich, open midi. What a brick. Never seen a player do this animation on a wide open mid-range. Oh, and a dish to Marion in the corner, and he drills it for the UNLV lead. UNLV has a chance again to take a game and the series this time at the free throw line. Theus is lining up his first one. Here it is. It's up, and it's good. Kansas and Kirk Heinrich are running. They're getting to Embiid. That's actually a great look. This is it. And Marion hits the board. And that is too late of a foul. This guy, Paul Pierce, actually watched Marion pass it and didn't foul at all. What is he doing? I actually cannot believe what I am seeing. The UNLV Rebels are moving on to face UNC. And that means our finals matchup is now a UNLV taking on the UNC Tar Heels. Can the Cinderella run really keep going on, or is UNC the Blue Blood going to take it all? But they're now down 3-0. And UNC has a 10-point lead here. We got the dish out on Michael Jordan, the shake and bake. Doesn't make the layup, but matter? Armin Gilliam to Sean Marion, who is just launching for no reason. McAdoo securing it and securing the W for UNC. The finals MVP would be Jordan, even though he only averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists a game. North Carolina beat out everyone to become the definitive best college program of all time, beating some of the best all-time college teams to do so, almost like a March Madness tournament. And speaking of March Madness, what if the 64 greatest NBA teams of all time were thrown into one massive March Madness tournament? Who would be crowned the greatest team of all time?